Hello my friends, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to my beautiful rideshare revolutionaries. It's me, Gio. Y'all know who the fuck it is. Alrighty, I got this email on Thursday where a driver was telling me about how he was deactivated after a false complaint. A rider made a complaint that he was under the influence while doing rides. They suspended his account after the report, and then they, let me turn off notifications really quick. I don't want my... Sorry about this, guys. There we go. Done. Beautiful. Okay. Okay. So the driver had his account suspended while they investigated it. And then he went to the police station, submitted himself for a sobriety test, got everything done, reported everything back to Uber, and then they reactivated his account. So we're going to go over the whole story right now, okay? So this is the full event. My first ride on New Year's Eve, I was super excited because on this kind of night, there will be a lot of rides. When I accepted the ride, the rider sent me a message to park at the leasing office of their apartment. When I turned into the parking lot, my front was facing the office and the back, the housing complex gate. So I decided to turn the car around so that I can see when the rider's walking towards me. It was already getting dark. What happened next should have given me a sign that this was a wicked rider. As I was about to reverse and turn the car around, I just heard a loud bang on the passenger back door window, like banging the glass more than 6 times quickly. It was as if I was being robbed. That alone scared me to death. I was like, wow. My car is the kind that won't unlock unless the car is in park. So I quickly put the car on park and the door unlocked for him and his day 10 of the car. The radio was on 105.9, a hip-hop radio station playing some New Year's countdown. So immediately the rider entered the car. He just shouted, and I quote, "Change that shit." Change the radio now to 93.5, a classical radio station. Not even a single courtesy or greetings. The way he shouted, I was like thinking out loud, wow, could not believe it. But as a driver, I did change the station immediately and never said anything back. He now said he's going to make one stop and then another stop. I replied, okay, sir, no problem. Next thing, I put the car in drive and followed the map, but he was controlling. Take left, take right, and never for once did I disobey him. I followed all of his directions. All through the 10-minute journey to his first stop, he was complaining about this and that, and even complained about the DJ on the classical radio station, saying the DJ was probably drunk and high on drugs for playing what he is on the radio, especially on New Year's Eve. All through the journey, I was praying that I just get to his final destination and drop him off so I can continue my night. Oh no, I was wrong. When we got to the first stop, I was about to stop the car in front of his friend's house, and he was like, oh no, go to the end of the street, turn around and come back to the house we were going. I did just that. We went to the end of the street and turned around using someone else's driveway. He came out of the car, his date or girlfriend was still in the car, and he said he wants to go check on his friends to hurry them up and he will be back. Next thing, he was disturbing. He said, and I quote, well, I'm going to go check on my friends. Please do something about the nasty thing moving inside your trunk. Whatever it is, it's really nasty. And I said, it's a soccer ball, sir. He replied, really looking into the SUV trunk. And I said, I don't know what to do about the soccer ball, but I'll try. So I came down, took the soccer ball from the trunk, and put it in the passenger seat next to me. At least it's on a seat. I did all this while he was going to check on his friend. Next, he came out, opened the door, and said his friends are not ready to leave, and he does not want to keep me waiting. So he told his girlfriend to come down, and he requested I end the ride. Wow, God is watching. I was super excited to end the ride, and I was thanking God for not making me suffer another 20 minutes to his last destination, which was Disneyland. I quietly prayed and thanked God for divine intervention. So I ended the ride, told him, thank you, sir, and Happy New Year. He did not respond. Before I finished saying thank you, I got an SMS from one of my old clients. He wanted me to take them to 2 different places. I was like, God, you're super good, thank you. I then turned off my Uber app and went straight to the client's location, which was about 15 minutes away. Picked up the client and his wife and took them from a nice restaurant to a mini concert. He told me to come back and get them by 1:15 a.m. So I still have about 5 hours before picking them up. Okay, so let's do Uber until 12:30. I'm assuming he said PM. I'm assuming AM. I turn on the app, and what I received was scary. Disabled because one of the riders said I was driving under the influence. At first, I thought it was a joke, so I called customer service after looking at my case. She said she can't help. That someone in the investigation department is looking into it, and I'll be deactivated until investigation is complete. I was like, wow, New Year's Eve, the day I can easily make up to $1,500, and this happened. Before I hung up the phone, I told the customer service girl that I'll be driving straight to a police station to do a sobriety test, because apparently Uber has taken the side of the rider, and I needed proof that this rider was lying. Good call on his part. Very good call. So my instinct was Uber has taken the side of the rider, and it's his word against mine. But I need some kind of proof that I was not drunk. So I went to the nearest police station and submitted myself for a sobriety test. The officer even allowed me to record the sobriety test, and it came out to 0.00. The officer gave me a reference card in case someone wants information, and I left. Went to the Uber app, upload the image of the sobriety test result, and the police reference card number. So this gentleman covered his ass really well. All I got was an automated message talking about investigation. Of course, that's all Uber does. So this night, I can't drive Uber, and I was a bit upset and stressed out. Then I went back to my private client and waited in the parking lot for about 4 hours. Then took them home, dropped them off around 2 a.m., and I went home. Next day around 8 p.m., Uber reactivated my account. I then asked for the final report, but they refused to share it. Till now, I'm yet to even turn on the Uber app. I'm still in shock about the whole drama. I'm an African American with natural Rastafarian dreadlock, so I believe his assumptions were this dude is a smoker and a drinker. That's why he sent that message to Uber that I was drunk. I really felt let down by and started rethinking driving altogether. If after 2,900 trips with a super high rating, one person can lie on the driver and Uber can just cut the person off, that is some kind of scary thing. And this is why I'm sharing the story. Because guess what? Drivers get deactivated over these kinds of claims all the time. And most of the time, you won't get the final notice on it because they'll do some investigation and then they'll throw it out from what I know before. But this driver's taking it one step further, and he's fully in the right to do so. I'm going to the district court to get a discovery subpoena, which will be served to Uber so that Uber can reveal the customer information. I'm going to small claim court to sue the rider for everything. Good. I will donate the money to a charity that fights discrimination. Any other advice or better way to approach will be highly appreciated. Thanks. This is the real truth. Honestly, I think you're going about this the right way. And he does have screenshots of the whole thing. That's a notification he got. I'm not seeing a time on it. Maybe the next one. We received a report from one of your riders stating that you appear to be under the influence. They take all these reports seriously. Yeah, it doesn't say what time it was at, so. This passenger is lying. I don't drink alcohol. So yeah, there you go. Bullshit, stock emails that Uber sends out. Okay. I like this story. I don't like the fact that the driver was deactivated on New Year's Eve. Obviously, that really sucks. That's not cool at all. What I do like about the story is that this driver is going to come after the passenger that filed that report on him. Now, that being said, I understand why Uber and Lyft do not give you information on a passenger if they make a report against you, because they don't want you to retaliate against the passenger, right? Like, for example, they don't, they never say which ride it was that made a report against you, because they're afraid, like, oh, you might go back to that person's house and attack them. You might go try to hurt them or something like that. You might stalk them. You don't know. And while I do think that does make sense for Uber and Lyft to kind of allow these reports to remain anonymous, this passenger definitely accused the driver of committing a crime without proof. That's defamation, right? In that case, Uber should be complying with the driver because the passenger did something illegal. And Uber, for the most part, if he didn't go to the police station and get the sobriety test and the reference card, then it would have been the passenger's word against his, and that could have led to a permanent deactivation. So that's why I think it's good on the driver you might want to get a lawyer. And obviously, if you got a lawyer in this situation and you pursue legal action against the passenger that made the claim against you, you're going to win. You're absolutely, like, you're going to be able to get a substantial amount of money from that passenger. And I think that's awesome. Fuck these passengers that make these reports. Fuck all of them. That passenger's obviously had some kind of issue with you for no reason. Maybe it might have been just like the passenger was in a bad mood. And he's just like, oh, fuck this driver. I'm going to report him. You know? So I think that it's good that you're pursuing legal action, but I do think this speaks to a much larger issue. And this is something I've talked to my buddy Bam about several times. Uber and Lyft, right? Because false reports are never going to go away. Whether they're because the passenger didn't like you, maybe the passenger wants to retaliate against you, maybe the passenger wants a free ride. These kinds of reports are never going away unless Uber and Lyft put some kind of prompt in the app saying it's got to be some kind of warning saying if this report is found to be fraudulent or made up or whatever, if this is a false report or a fraudulent report, then you as the passenger will be held legally and criminally responsible. Legally and lawfully responsible or whatever. Like, if you are okay with submitting a false report on a passenger to saying the driver was drunk, the driver was high, the driver didn't pick me up, the driver harassed me, the driver whatever, the driver was a racist, blah blah, whatever you want to come up with, whatever excuse you want to say to either retaliate against the driver or to try to get a free ride, then you as the passenger should be agreeing, you should be agreeing that you can get sued for what you're about to do to this driver. If it's a false report, then you should be held responsible. Because in the 5 or 6 years that Uber and Lyft have been around doing these rides, there are passengers that will report for no reason, will file false reports, false complaints, and there are riders that do it just to get free rides. And if they were going to be held responsible for their actions, then this kind of shit would not happen. So that's the point of the video. I wish this driver all the luck. Well, you don't need luck. When you get a lawyer, they'll be like, oh yeah, we got you. You're going to be able to, whatever amount the lawyer says, yeah, you're going to get, because this is bullshit. Especially since you went to the police station and got the sobriety test. But this does speak to the larger issue that Uber and Lyft do a lot. Uber and Lyft allow passengers to make these kinds of reports, and there's no penalty. There's nothing that comes back on the passenger for doing this. It's all on the driver. 100% of it falls on the driver, and none of the responsibility falls on the passenger for making these false reports. All right? So, that's all I got for this one, guys. I want to thank you all for watching. Everyone, please stay safe, stay driven, stay classy. I'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.